There. I've been having connection problems, so hopefully now I'm connected and this live can proceed. And if it doesn't, my apologies. I'll just turn it into a recording and then I'll go ahead and I'll post that recording. So thank you for joining me again. Like I said, I don't know what was going on with my internet connection. So I did the traditional magic. I turned my phone off and on, my internet off and on, and that seems to have fixed the problem. I did a live yesterday that was basically oriented towards encouraging people who are asking me, how do I claim my magic? How do I step into my magic? And I want to do a series of lives to encourage people to do it and small ways to step into your magical power. Because in some ways, the spiritual life, the path that witches follow for the most part, is a series of habits. Habits that help them connect to the energy around them. Habits that help them align themselves with what it is they want for themselves each and every day. Habits that connect us to nature and the world around us, because it's all interconnected and we are a part of that gloriousness. So that's what I talked about yesterday, and I meant to post that live so people would have it, but I goofed and instead I deleted it. So I'm just going to do a quick rehash of that before I take a step further. Yesterday, I suggested the simplest way to get started on this path was to every day just light a candle. Start your day, and these little tea candles are wonderful. Votive candles last a little bit longer. And you can pick a color and a scent that you find helpful for your intentions. I lean heavily towards vanilla. And every day, it just takes a couple of minutes to center yourself. Take a few deep breaths. Think about what it is that you want for yourself that day, not what everybody else wants for you. Not what you're contractually obligated to provide at a job, but what it is you really want for you. And to pull that up and then to say something, an affirmation, a chant that connects you with that energy. Because verbally expressing that, especially like we use affirmations, does do something. It's not just positive thinking. It's actually a way of rewiring your neural connections in your brain along a new path. And so I have a book on my shelf with my candle, and I got a book that is pretty that I really liked. And then inside this book, I write little prayers, little chants, little affirmations that I see online or I notice in a book that really resonate with me. They have to be special. And they go in this book. I handwrite them. A lot of my witchy stuff is actually typed, printed out, and put in binders. So this is very personal. I feel very connected. And so then I'll select a chant or an affirmation that affirms what I want for myself that day. And we say visualize, and I get tons of people who message me, I don't know or how to visualize, or it's impossible for me the way my brain is wired to visualize. When witches talk about visualizing, in some ways it's a little deceptive because it's really almost embodying that thing, feeling it, sensing it, smelling it, tasting it. All of that is what we mean when we say visualize. We're actually embodying that as if we're experiencing it in the here and the now. We're aligning our energy with that. And it's very, very powerful when combined with the spoken words of the affirmation or the chant. Just taking that few minutes. You can also draw energy from the candle flame, from the candle that you've lit. That's another thing that you can do. I'm a fire witch. I'm an Aries. And I really relate to that fire. It builds energy for me. And to build on that, a couple of things that I didn't talk about yesterday. I have on my altar this rock. And this rock is from my favorite spot along the Kings River out by Choinumni. And that just is my power spot. And this rock, it just centers me. It just grounds me. Holding this rock, this is my rock. And so I have that on my altar. Another thing I have a couple of pieces of malachite that I have found that fit my thumb just right. And I can rub that malachite. I can relate to that malachite. And malachite is not only protective, partly because of its high vibration, but it also brings in prosperity and abundance. It's a very powerful stone. And so I always find rubbing my moldavite to be a way to start my day that's powerful as well. And when you're ready to kind of finish that, sometimes it helps to have a little bit of a sacred closing to what you're doing. And I have a lot of bells around my house. I was fortunate to find in an antique shop a set in different sizes of supposedly antique Tibetan temple bells. But just a beautiful sound. And so before I leave my little area, so mote it be. Let it be that way today. I affirm. And that combination of things is the way to start your day. And right now, we're in the waning moon cycle. Okay? The moonlight is getting less and less and less. And then we'll be coming to the night of the dark moon. And then right after that, of course, is the new moon. The moon is when that first little slice of moonlight returns. So from now until then, if you're trying to focus on your spiritual path, get started doing something like this. This is very simple and it's very, very personal. It will really help anchor your practice. Aim towards that new moon as being the time you're really going to put your foot in a little bit of deeper water. Because new moon energy is so auspicious for beginnings. Every new moon occurs in an astrological sign, so it has certain kinds of energies that are buzzing around us. So right before the new moon, I usually post, and other people do if you're on Instagram or Facebook, what the energies of that new moon are. And it helps you think about areas of your life and set an intention. And if you're just beginning, set a small intention. And it should be something to do with you, not somebody else. You, what do you want for your life? What would you like to see emerge? And prepare for the new moon, when I will put up, and other people will, some basic rituals to help you set that intention. In other words, align yourself energetically with it and communicate to the universe. This is what I'm aligning with. This is what I want to manifest. That's all spellcasting really is about. So, I'm going to hopefully do some regular lives and post them as recordings to guide you along this path so that you feel that you know how to claim your magic, that you know how to tap deep inside, that magic is something everybody has within them. It's your spiritual birthright. It's your power. So we're going to be, over the next days, I'm also going to be talking a little bit, moving towards the dark moon, how to do a release. What do you release? Why do you release? What does that mean? How it opens your life up and makes space. And also we'll be talking about the summer solstice, a very powerful day where you'll feel this energy because it's the longest day of the year. That's the day we have the most sunlight. And for witches, it's a very powerful day because we don't just work with the lunar cycles. Sometimes we forget that energy of the sun, that powerful energy that grows things, that manifests things. Sunlight is very, very cleansing, very, very powerful in its own right. And in fact, there are many cultures that even claim sunlight or the sun as a feminine deity because there are aspects of it that align with that type of energy too. So I'm leaving you here with the suggestions that I have given. I've taken it a little further than what I talked about yesterday. And I hope these videos are helpful. You can always let me know what would be helpful to you, what you're interested in, because I will run out of ideas, where you're at on the path, because I hope this doesn't bore you too much. Oh, this is really nice. People are already sending me things. Here's a suggestion of talking about what you know you need to release, but you don't really want to. You're not really feeling ready to do that. That's an important one. We've all absolutely been there. And in fact, that's kind of been what's going on with me a little bit this past couple of weeks. Honestly, I've been grappling with some spiritual issues my own self. So I think I can absolutely speak to that. So I'm going to end this video now. I thank everyone who jumped on. I apologize for the people who came on and I got cut off a couple of times at the very least. I am going to post this one so that other people can see it. And I will be back tomorrow with something new building on this video. I don't want to go back and talk about the same things each time. I'm going to try to find a way to mark these so that if someone misses it, we can send them back to it and we can kind of grow together with these. This is the most practical way that I can think of to assist people with moving forward. So many blessings. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of my spiritual community. I think of it as my little coven because I'm a solitary practitioner. And all of you and your responses really do mean so much to me. It really does. Thank you. And many blessings. I will be back with you tomorrow.